Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome back to the channel. It's Uncle M, Uncle Makara. Let's get it. Today we're talking all about what does it mean to be a high-value individual, okay? Now this term is being thrown around in popular culture a lot, okay? What does being high-value even mean, okay? Does it relate to your vibe? Does it relate to your social status? Personally, if you were to ask me, I would have to say it has to do more with state control. It has to do with being real. It has to do with you feeling at one with yourself, not disconnected or distracted or feeling nervous. All of these things aren't high status because they do not provide you a way for you to tap into the flow of life, the nature of life, okay? The feeling of aliveness is so key and so important. The feeling that there is something here in this, and also providing strength. I think if we start to focus on our strengths rather than our deficits, we start to shine. Okay? Minimize the flaws. Minimize the flaws by understanding the logic behind the flaws and then remove them. Stop holding that grudge. Stop bottling it inside of you and release it. Let it go. Let it out of its cage. Let the genie out of the lamp. The first thing to understand is when you are high value, you are giving of value more than you are taking of value. What is taking value? You're asking the other person so many different questions. It's like an interview mode. Okay? What do you do? Oh, how do you do it? Oh, yeah. And the thing is, the biggest mistake is the other person is trying to impress the other person, not even thinking about them, right? Not even thinking about the other person and what they're saying or considering. So active listening, like actually listening to the person, is high value. Okay? Being present with somebody else is very high value. Okay? Now, at the same time, you're not like overly invested, right? Because a person with high value, they have less time. They're probably doing some big things in the world, right? And you probably are too, but you just have to recognize that, remember that, okay? If someone asks you, what do you do for work? Maybe you just give them this answer which tries to generate some kind of high-level response, right? Oh yeah, I'm a lawyer who does this, and you're trying to circumnavigate and micromanage this perfect answer, whereas if you're truly connected to your purpose and what you do, you say it like that, right? I heal people. I make them smile. I help them remove emotional gunk, That's what I would say that I do, okay? Now, are they expecting some kind of logical answer? Oh, yes, I'm a positive psychologist and counselor. I sit in a clinic from this time to this time, and if you want, I can... Okay, a lot of you guys, you have this presenter voice, okay? This presenter voice is actually stopping you from getting more money, meeting more people, and having more of an impact and influence in your world, okay? Because you haven't truly identified yourself as a high value person, as the prize, as the person who is holding themselves accountable in that high level for themselves, in their own lives. You see, you're putting the other person up on this giant pedestal and you're making yourself feel below them. And you're thinking in your mind, oh, that's humble. I'm supposed to be respectful. I'm supposed to be like this and that and X, Y, Z. But guess what? The other person is just feeling your uncertainty, feeling your emotion. They don't know what you're unsure about, what you're uncertain about, they don't care. And they can't know, okay? They're not like fortune tellers unless you're meeting some, oracle women, which is great, I guess. Or mystic men, but also mystic dating. I feel that could be incredible or so out of pocket, right? To be high value, you have to recognize value in others. You remember what Stephen Covey said. First seek to understand, then to be understood. This was a big lesson for me. It was a big lesson for me because as a creative person, I felt misunderstood a lot of my life, and I was always blaming others. Like, it's your fault that you don't get it, okay? Whereas it has more to do with me, connecting to my empathy, my compassion, and understanding. There's another human being, a soul right in front of me that I'm communicating with. And I'm thinking about myself right now? All right, what's going on here? Like, this is some kind of a survival mechanism that's speaking for me. I'm not really being high value, right? Which means I'm not being my authentic self. I don't see myself in my highest light. Or I've convinced myself, or somebody else has sold me some reality that's telling me that I'm not high value. And I keep perpetuating that through my actions or inactions. Right? So you can watch all of these videos, okay? How to be the pimp, jacked alpha male. Or if you come to this channel, I'll keep spewing about the savage shaman, right? The priest or the priestess beast. I keep talking about these topics. Why? Because that archetype resonates with me. It makes sense to me to be so spiritually involved, spiritually inclined, right? Where we recognize the beauty and the passion in another person and really listen to them, okay? Not just butt in with our comments every few seconds, interrupting them, okay? Oh yeah, that's cool, but listen to what I have to say. Now, you do need a little bit of this blasé attitude, okay? This bit of a distracted rock star blasé attitude, like whatever. You're not making it a big deal, okay? You're talking to a very high status person in your eyes. Maybe you're saying, or you're perceiving high status in them, right? Like, let's say they're a very beautiful person. They have a halo effect around them, right? And they kind of create their own reality based on the responses that they're getting, right? So beautiful women, they kind of have to generate this kind of like understanding of, okay, there's people coming up to me, talking to me, and am I gonna pay attention to them? Am I not? Like, there's a big issue with like being a people pleaser and things like this, okay? So the moment, she's kind of poker face, resting bitch face, whatever, right? Not showing anything. You're gonna assume she hasn't really sensed your value yet, right? Like, what are you offering her that's unique, that's engaging, that's fun, maybe a little bit polarizing, right? Maybe a little bit curious that you want to get to know her. Maybe it's a feeling of relaxation, right? Like, maybe you give them a feeling of relaxation. Maybe you give them a time constraint so that they feel calmer. Hey, I gotta go, checking on my friends. It was really nice to meet you. And you create a dip, right? You create a less urgency, less like pressure, or less like social pressure, right? In order to act or be or say a certain thing or be a certain way, man. Okay? If you're trying to be somebody as you're out, you're losing. But if you're gifting your avatar, gifting your character, gifting what you were born here to do, and you're just giving it as a gift without attachment to the gift, by the way. You're not expecting something from giving your gift. Your gift is just your gift. This is what I have to say. Oh, you're looking very smart casual today. Serious on top, party at the bottom. Love your shoes. Okay? You're just observing, being fun, being spontaneous. There's no real like investment. Yes, excellent. So that she has responded like this, I will now use my technical advancements to go prioritize myself into the future, where I can entrap her using my verbal wits and witticisms. Bro, you're off. You're off, okay? You're thinking too far ahead. You're going into anxiety mode now, okay? Because you're not even here. You're not present. You're not fully present. You have to be so into this situation that you disappear. You become selfless. You enter flow. You enter flow state. By you entering flow state, you're high value. Straight up. You know why? Because you're unique. You're differentiating yourself from others. My mentor, AZD, he's a genius, okay? He's been talking a lot about this in the past camps and so forth, like the idea of, and this is really, really high level tech stuff, right? So go and learn it from him, okay? I'm just giving you like little chunks of it. One of the big epiphanies that I understood was It's the sound of your voice that matters, okay? How does your voice sound? And the way that you tweak this, I'm not gonna reveal that, okay? Maybe people who join the adepts program or part of my MC Nation, they probably know what I'm talking about. And the tech involved, right? Like Anbu did it, there are a bunch of others who did it. But basically, what the practice is, let's say you're a lion tamer and you're talking to a lion. You're like, good boy. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh. And if you really like look at that as warbles, like sounds, right? It's like, right? They're still speaking that lion's language. It's just, it sounds a different way. The good boy, right? It's like, that sound the lion recognizes, right? And so he's able to communicate. Let's say you're talking with someone and your voice is off. You sound like a screaming, yelling person, or you're frantic, or you're annoying in your voice, right? You have a harsh sounding voice, right? All the Disney movies, all the greatest, most beautiful characters, they are always the most mellifluous voices, right? The most beautiful sounding voices. And you go, wow, you get hypnotized, you get mesmerized, okay, coming from the word mesmer, okay? Animal magnetism. You guys have got to understand these concepts, okay? The primal instinct, okay? These things will make you high value, okay? And if you want to learn more secrets about how to do this, we have a Primal Sutra mystery school where we help you embody this tantric charisma very effortlessly, easily, and I really mean effortlessly, right guys? Because we are working with all of these different deities, these different spirits, these energies that we can actually utilize, right? There's always an exchange happening with energy, obviously, right? You do a ritual, you give something of yours, and you get something back. This does not mean, like, I don't see this as worship, I see this as my practices, my devotional practices, okay? And my energy maintenance practices, my mating rituals, okay? I'm not self-caring, I'm doing mating rituals. You know what will make you high value, bro? Let me tell you. The Sri Yantra. Maybe you've never heard this on a video before, but I'm gonna teach you something that is going to make you extremely high value. And it's called the Sri Yantra, okay? I don't know if you've ever heard of this or seen this depiction. Okay, you might have seen it in somebody's tattoo, you might have seen it on some Reddit forum or like some Tumblr post somewhere, or as you're Googling something about spirituality, you might come across this symbol. Okay, this understanding, it's like a bunch of triangles, okay? So understand, I'm gonna explain what this is about, and maybe this will help you explain your value through this, because this is a depiction of the universe. Just like a mandala is that as well. Just like a mandala is like that too. A Sri Yantra is a chariot that delivers insights into the essence of being. So this abstract form of the universe is material nature, prima materia, right? Or mother nature, also known as the divine mother. The primordial mother, the divine mother, is this primal Shakti. She is the power which creates, sustains, and dissolves. Okay, she holds within her Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. And she does this with everything that there is to ever experience, okay? So if you are giving energy to this primordial mother energy, you will start to notice a ripple effect in your waking life, in your reality. You will be high value if you're tapping into this essence. Why? Because it shapes itself into all possibilities, which translates to me as abundance. And it's a reminder what the universe was made for, which is liberation. So through your expression and your verbal communication with others, if you're liberated, other people are going to be captivated by that. It's like, how can this person speak about that or talk about that taboo transgressive thing in such an eloquent way? Make it sound good. Okay? What society likes to hear. Have you guys ever watched OMG2, the movie? Okay? This kid gets caught, masturbating in a video somewhere, right? Kids at school, they make it a viral video. And his dad is like a kind of a Hindu sacred man who works for a temple, and gets religions involved, and there's a court case he wants to win against the school. Like, why didn't they teach this kid sex education? And Then Shiva comes in, you know, through Akshay Kumar, depicting Shiva, and it just gets hella weird. But anyway, it's a great movie. Okay, great, funny movie, very enlightening. A lot of epiphanies for myself, especially like the idea of, you know, karma and pleasure and the understanding of that, and you know, there's just a lot of great texts that he references, right, to explain sexuality through beautiful mellifluous language, which is what they did back in the day, right, with all these sacred Hindu texts. So understand that all of these different shapes that you see in the Sri Yantra, they all depict different forms of Shakti. Okay, Adi Shakti is overcoming worldly desires. Maheshwari Shakti is there to overcome anger, okay? And all of these things. And it goes deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. It's like one layer of it, another layer of it, right? So it goes into basically going into all the elements, then going into also all of the senses, the taste, the touch, the smell. Then we go into the Shaktis that govern the taste, the smell, the five senses, and so forth. Also Amrita Kashani, right? Governing immortality. Emotion to attraction to repulsion to excretion, everything is covered, okay? Triangles you see are principles of the subtle body, okay? It's the subtle body becoming the material or physical body. So if you see the Sri Yantra, it's really a person you're seeing, but it's the universe personified through symbols and shapes. Leaser, the arrestor, the deluder, okay? They have their roles, these different Shaktis, within these triangles. And you understand this pure consciousness, okay, of this primordial mother energy is beyond time and space. It's in a state of ecstasy and unity. It's the destroyer of all diseases. It's omniscient, omnipotent, the giver of all ecstasy and dispeller of all evils, okay? It harmonizes. This Sri Yantra harmonizes the inner perfection, which is the center point, the bindu. The bow is the mind, the noose is the attachment, and the stick is repulsion. And the central bindu point is the giver of all perfections. It purifies the powers to decide and act, even in the face of adversity. Because this bindu was this pure consciousness, the center point, right, of that sacred geometry. That's that primal sutra, that's that original state of being. Okay, this looks a bit wrong, but regardless, supreme ecstasy of life, guys. Okay, that's high value. At least from my eyes, that's high value. What if you have a Sri Yantra in your space? Yo, you're gonna be magnetizing the universe. You know where these came from, right? The Sri Yantras came from the sages meditating and then closing their eyes and them getting visions. Okay, see the three circles, okay, past, present, future. In the Sri Yantra, you see earth, water, space, fire, wind. See the eyes, the mouth, the ears, the genitals, right? The homunculus kind of, you know, senses or sensory experiences. So imagine each petal, right, represents these Shaktis, and each triangle represents these Shaktis. And they're all split into these different forms, right? And they're each goddesses of their own right. One primordial mother giving us all of these goddesses in this image, okay? Powerful, okay? Very, very powerful. Now that you have this understanding of Sri Yantra, when you're speaking, you speak from, I am the giver of all perfections. You speak from that state, you see? You're speaking from the Sri Yantra, meaning you're already fully liberated. You're not attached to anything. You're not, you know, trying to repulse or attract or do any of these things, because you are that state of ecstasy that is subtle beyond this current construct of this conversation that's happening. Okay, this is the space that we want to get to. The next camp of IMC Nation, we're going into a sage mode. It's the Tao of seduction. Okay, so we really gotta step it up, guys. We gotta shed away this fucking image that we keep putting on, that we're like this, or we have to be like this, or yeah, I have to have a high reputation in society in order to, you know, get this girl to like me. Oh, she's out of my league. Oh yeah, that person is definitely not for me though. You know, we create all of these different rationalizations, justifications, overgeneralizations, catastrophizations. Why don't you get back into your truth and your greatest strengths? That is high value. Not worrying about what you have to improve and all of these things. Yo, that's cool. But let's have you show up as the greatest version of you and shine. Okay? Just shine. Next year, it's time to shine. We're here to build until December, and then we're gonna shine. We're gonna be like floating orbs through space, us savage shamans. If you wanna join this empire, this movement, show some respect to the path working. You know, show up to the free calls. Let's get it. We're about to win again. See you on the other side. Os.